longest-running show in the history of primetime television. Only 60 Minutes has been on longer.
From the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida, Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
It's a kind of national communal experience, a show that transcends sports, watched not only by hardcore football fans, but also by people who don't know a first down from a fumble.
Are you ready for some football? A Monday night
Roll 60, dissolve track.
After 35 years on the air, Monday Night Football is nothing less than an American institution. Not just for the fans, but for the players, too.
Is it different?
Like Jerome Bettis of the Steelers.
It's different because it's the only playoff-type atmosphere during the regular season. So, and everybody's watching.
The crowd is psyched. All my rowdy friends are back for Monday night.
But how many of his rowdy friends will be watching next year when Monday Night Football leaves ABC and moves to ESPN on cable? About 1 in 5 homes don't get ESPN, which means the ratings inevitably will drop. What does that mean for the great American Monday night communal experience?
It was something that was an institution, and an institution crumbles, and it won't be the same.
This is the end of the road for John Madden on Monday night. Next year, he'll be doing Sunday Night Football on NBC.
How do you feel about this being over and you leaving?
Well, no, I'm very sad. I mean, it's not the right thing. I mean, it shouldn't have happened that way.
You do look sad when you say that.
Well, yeah, because when you're part of it, I mean, there's one thing, you know, enjoying it. There's one thing watching it. There's one thing being a fan, and then there's another thing. You know, here you are, and you know, pulled out from under you. It's not there anymore.
Al Michaels has been doing Monday night play-by-play for 20 years. Next year, he'll move with the show to ESPN, teamed up with Joe Theismann.
On the one hand, I'm thinking it's still the game, and it's simply on a different channel. But another part of me says, no, this is different. It is not the same Monday Night Football that all of America can see, because all of America can't see it when it goes on cable television. Is it different?
It's mysterious. I don't know how it plays out. Who in the world would ever have believed 15 years ago, 10 years ago, that something like this might happen?
It happened because what you see as a sport, the moguls at the NFL see as a business. ABC has been losing truckloads of money carrying Monday Night Football. But ESPN, which like ABC is owned by Disney, was able to fork over $1.1 billion a year to the NFL for the rights to carry the games. Because, unlike ABC, ESPN has 2 ways to make money: advertising and cable subscriber fees.
They have a means to make money on football. In ESPN, they can keep charging subscribers. They keep raising the rates. Everybody else is losing their shirt on football.
Bill Carter, a top media writer for the New York Times, co-wrote Monday Night Mayhem, the definitive behind-the-scenes look at Monday Night Football. He says we're witnessing the end of an era.
It's no longer for the big mass audience. It's now a specialized thing for football fans. It's not Monday Night Football anymore. It's football on Monday night. It's not Monday Night Football, in quotes.
The thing about the monitor is that you never want to take your eyes off the monitor.
Because that's what we're watching at home.
Exactly. So even
Before the final act on ABC, we caught up with Michaels and the Monday Night crew in Pittsburgh. When the show hits the air, what you see at home is smooth as silk.
what's the formula to beat Pittsburgh tonight?
Behind the scenes, it's a combination of ground control for a space shuttle launch and controlled chaos.
Music under. Music. Play 97. Play 97. Dissolve track.
It's the greatest job ever invented. I mean, I have done Monday Night Football for 20 years. I feel like it's been about 3, which means I'm having a hell of a time. Tell me what's bigger. It's still Monday Night Football. Those words resonate.
Yes, Monday Night Football is more than just another game. And yes, it's still something of an event in the world of television sports. Once upon a time, long before you could watch baseball, basketball, hockey, tennis, badminton, bingo, or darts on primetime television every night of the week, Monday Night Football really was something special, and the game on the field was only a part of it.
Coach, it's good to be back, and I've missed you. I didn't know you cared. Yuck.
Howard Cosell, the the brash Brooklyn-born lawyer turned broadcaster, and Dandy Don Meredith, the former quarterback pretending to be a country bumpkin, the original dynamic duo in the Monday night booth. Two guys who refused to color inside the lines, who played off the play-by-play man, Frank Gifford.
You knew they were going to say some outrageous things. You just didn't know when they were going to say them.
Don Ohlmeyer was one of the first producers of Monday Night Football in the early 70s.
Howard was the guy you loved to hate. He's Uncle Louie, who every Christmas, you can't wait to go to Christmas dinner because Uncle Louie is going to say something that's going to throw the whole family into an uproar, you know? And then everybody around the table will say, oh my God, Uncle Louie, what did he do tonight?
Says only he can with his Texas corn pone, Dandy Don Meredith.
I never said anything ugly about you, Howard.
The game could be awful. The game could be one-sided, and you'd stick with it because it was a show.
Rednecks and White Sox and blue ribbon beer.
Viewers would go, wow, you know, terrific, or I can't believe they did that. Or the writers would say, they can't do that.
I can handle that, I'll guarantee you.
To change people going to restaurants and movies and things on Monday nights, they changed their lifestyles around Monday Night Football. It was the most talked about thing on television.
Before you could say touchdown, ABC had scored one with Monday Night Football. By 1975, 5 years on the air, the stars in the booth had become bigger than a lot of the stars on the field, and the show became a traveling circus, heading into a different town each week.
It was crazy. We would come into town, they would have parades, or there would be a luncheon that the mayor would throw, and there'd be 5,000 people there.
And according to Bill Carter, there were times when the party continued right into the announce booth.
Howard had a bottle of vodka brought to the booth. It was late in the year, it was very, very cold, and Howard was hitting that vodka a lot to stay warm, and before the first half, he completely lost it. He absolutely lost it, and he couldn't pronounce Philadelphia.
We're in Philadelphia at Franklin Field.
He no longer could pronounce Philadelphia, which was tough in an Eagles game.
It ended when Howard puked all over Dandy Don's boots.
Down the sideline, touchdown.
And while some fans loved Howard, at least as many detested him. Outside this bar in Denver, they'd throw bricks at the TV when Cosell's face would come on the screen.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Howard Cosell.
Despite all that, or maybe because of it, the booth at a Monday night game was the place to be. Actors stopped by. So did presidents. Even John Lennon showed up one Monday night.
It makes rock concerts look like tea parties.
Lennon is gone, of course, and so is Howard. But don't write the obituary for Monday Night Football just yet. George Bodenheimer, head of both ABC Sports and ESPN, says it's not the end of an era, simply the beginning of a new one.
It's a landmark. Everybody knows when you say Monday night, you're talking about Monday Night Football. So moving to our network from ABC to ESPN is, I think, a breakthrough moment.
And to those millions of people who don't get ESPN?
You know, you can't stop change. There will always be a mix of things that are available, so-called, on free TV and things that aren't, and that will continue to evolve in this country.
Is that another way of saying tough noogies?
Well, I would never say that, but, you know, things change.
And one of the biggest changes is that since NBC, with John Madden, will be broadcasting Sunday Night Football free to a much larger audience than can watch a game on ESPN, Sunday Night Football could become the new Monday Night Football, the new American institution. And there's one more change that works in NBC's favor.
NBC has gained an advantage over what ABC had because they're going to be able to select the better games in the second half of the season, and that will improve their ratings.
Select better games because NBC negotiated what's called a flexible schedule for its Sunday night games, where they get to drop a potentially weak game and replace it with a stronger matchup, something ESPN won't be able to do.
Even the NFL said the big show is going to be Sunday Night Football. Is that a fair statement?
I really don't think it is. I think some of the comments have been taken out of context. We've been assured by the NFL that our schedule will continue to receive the same prominence that Monday Night Football has received over the years.
But let's face it, hasn't the institution that was Monday Night Football been slowly losing some of its specialness for years?
I've still got highlights to do.
There was only one Cosell, after all, and he left the booth 20 years ago. Replaced, which is really not the right word, by a string of ex-jocks who have come and gone, and a comedian who, for whatever reason, didn't fit in. Still, some say, it's no big deal, this switch to cable. Nothing more than watching a game on one channel instead of another.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end.
He's probably right. All things sooner or later must end. But that doesn't mean everybody has to be happy about it.
In a few weeks, you're going to walk into a stadium, and it's going to be the last game of Monday Night Football on ABC. You've thought about that.
Yeah, sure I've thought about it, but I don't want to dwell on it.
You don't want to dwell on it because...
Because it's the end. The end as we know it.
Till next Monday, Al Michaels, John Madden, Sam Ryan saying good night.